Join me as I dive into the mind of Napoleon Bonaparte and challenge myself to analyze his strategies that helped him dominate every battle he fought. Napoleon Bonaparte is widely regarded as one of the greatest military minds in history, and for good reason. His campaigns are still studied by military strategists around the world, and his innovative tactics continue to influence modern warfare. But what made him so successful on the battlefield? Let's dive in and find out. Napoleon's military career was marked by a series of impressive victories against numerically superior foes. He faced numerous challenges, from the sheer scale of his enemy's armies to the logistical difficulties of feeding and supplying his troops over long distances. Despite these obstacles, he consistently outmaneuvered and outsmarted his opponents, often winning battles against incredible odds. One of the key factors behind Napoleon's success was his ability to adapt to changing circumstances on the battlefield. He was a master of improvisation, able to adjust his tactics mid-battle to respond to unexpected developments. This flexibility allowed him to stay one step ahead of his opponents, often catching them off guard with unexpected maneuvers. Napoleon's campaigns were also marked by his innovative use of artillery. He was one of the first commanders to recognize the potential of massed artillery to break enemy lines, and he used this tactic to devastating effect in many battles. By concentrating his artillery in key sectors, he was able to blast holes in the enemy's defenses, allowing his infantry to pour through and exploit the resulting gaps. Despite his many successes, Napoleon faced some of his toughest challenges during the Russian campaign. The harsh Russian winter, combined with the scorched earth tactics of the Russian army, threatened to destroy his army through attrition. Yet even in the face of these incredible obstacles, Napoleon remained steadfast, using his legendary tactical genius to outmaneuver the Russians and keep his army intact. Austerlitz is often cited as one of Napoleon's greatest victories, and for good reason. Outnumbered by a combined Austrian and Russian force, Napoleon used a series of clever deceptions to lure the enemy into a trap. By pretending to weaken his right flank, he encouraged the enemy to launch a heavy attack against that sector, while secretly massing his own troops on the left flank. When the enemy attacked, Napoleon was ready, unleashing a devastating counterattack that shattered the enemy's lines and won the battle. At the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon faced off against a coalition of British, Prussian, and Dutch forces led by the Duke of Wellington and Field Marshal Gebhard von Blücher. Despite being outnumbered, Napoleon remained confident in his ability to outmaneuver his opponents, using his cavalry to attack the British squares and break their lines. However, a series of uncharacteristic mistakes, combined with the bravery of the British infantry, allowed the coalition forces to hold their ground and ultimately defeat Napoleon. One pivotal moment that showcases Napoleon's strategic brilliance is the Battle of Jena, where he faced off against a large Prussian army led by King Frederick William III. Napoleon's army was outnumbered, but he used his characteristic speed and maneuverability to outflank the Prussians and attack them from an unexpected direction. As the Prussian lines began to waver, Napoleon seized the moment, launching a decisive charge that shattered the enemy's army and won the battle. Napoleon's decision to split his army into separate corps, each capable of operating independently, was a masterstroke of strategic thinking. This allowed him to cover vast distances and respond quickly to changing circumstances on the battlefield. By giving his corps commanders a high degree of autonomy, Napoleon was able to operate on a much larger scale than his opponents, overwhelming them with sheer numbers and speed. Another key factor behind Napoleon's success was his ability to inspire loyalty and devotion in his troops. He was a natural leader, able to rally his men and instill in them a sense of purpose and mission. This loyalty was rewarded many times over, as Napoleon's troops consistently performed heroic feats on the battlefield, often against incredible odds. In the end, it was Napoleon's own ego and overconfidence that contributed to his downfall. His disastrous invasion of Russia, combined with the rise of coalition forces opposed to him, ultimately led to his defeat and exile. Yet even in defeat, Napoleon's legacy as a military genius lived on, inspiring generations of military thinkers and strategists. So what can we learn from Napoleon's strategies that helped him dominate every battle he fought? In short, it's the combination of innovative tactics, adaptability, and leadership that allowed him to outmaneuver and outsmart his opponents time and time again. By studying his campaigns and battles, we can gain a deeper understanding of the principles of warfare and how to apply them in modern conflict. Thanks for watching, and if you have a favorite Napoleon battle or strategy, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos on military history, and I'll see you in the next one.